Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So we all have our preferences in fragrances, and very often we gravitate towards, similar smelling fragrances. And I am no exception, of course. I have, quite a lot of fragrances in my collection that smell similarly. In fact, until I sort of came up with the concept for this video, I didn't realize just how many similar smelling fragrances I had in my collection. So I am not sure exactly what I'm going to call this video, perhaps something along the line of fragrance twins, but the idea here is to talk about similar smelling fragrances, kind of go over what's similar about them, what's different, and maybe which one I would recommend. So if you're interested in this type of video, if you like this video concept, definitely, don't forget to put a like to this video. Let me know in the comments, because I can definitely make it into kind of a series, I think, because I'm only going to talk about a small selection here. There are definitely a lot more than I have in my collection, and I can definitely make more videos like this. And of course, to all the other creators, I'm not formally making it into a tag, but if you love this concept, if you find it interesting, I would love to see your take on this video. I would love to know what similar fragrances you have in your collection and, which ones you would recommend. Anyways, I think it's enough of an introduction. I think hopefully I made the concept of this video clear. Let's get started. Now, first, let's talk about 3 similar smelling fragrances. It is 100 Silent Ways from Nishane. It is Hidden Accords from Unique Luxury. And it is Black Opium from YSL, which I don't have, but I did have in the past, and I know very well what it smells like. Now, out of these 3, I am actually going to take out Black Opium right away. Why? Well, why did I include it and why am I taking it out? Well, I included it because many reviews on Fragrantica and some reviews on YouTube say that these 2 fragrances are similar to Black Opium. So that's why I included it in here initially. So if you're thinking of buying one of them, just keep that in mind that many people find them similar. However, I'm taking it out because to me, to my nose, these 2 are not similar to Black Opium. I don't see the similarities. I don't smell the similarities. So I am obviously giving you my opinion, and in my opinion, Black Opium is something completely different. So I'm taking it out of the runnings here, but keep in mind that others find it similar to these 2. Now, these 2, on the other hand, are similar, very similar. Now, in this video, I'm not going to go through the notes. This is not about the notes. This is more about how the fragrances smell. And really, both of these smell like very sweet, gourmand white florals. I mean, there are a lot of white florals, I know for sure, in this one, and there is a very strong note of vanilla in addition to many others. I can't even remember exactly what notes are in this one, but essentially they smell very similar, like very sweet, vanillic white florals, gorgeous white florals. As much as I hate white florals, here they are absolutely stunning. Now, what is the difference? In this case, the difference is very small, to be honest. I would say that 100 Silent Ways is just a little bit sweeter, a little bit deeper. Like the vanilla is just kind of sweeter, warmer, deeper. Yeah, this one is a little bit lighter, but overall, even if you, I think, put them on a blotter or spray them on 2 hands and let someone smell, I think it will be quite different to tell them apart. Now, which one do I recommend? Well, I think you can't go wrong with either one, but if I had to choose one, for me, I would go with 100 Silent Ways. I like that this one is just a little bit deeper, a little bit sweeter. So I would recommend this one, but this one is also very, very beautiful. Next combination that's quite similar, and I was a little bit surprised how similar they are. That is Ivory Root from Xerjoff, and it is Gold Myrrh Absolute from Carolina Herrera from Confidential's line. Essentially, both of them smell like very, very spicy vanilla. I mean, Ivory Root, when you first spray it, it's very, very spicy, extremely spicy with a bit of sweet vanilla. And then vanilla starts coming to the forefront. It becomes amazingly creamy, sweet, buttery, just gorgeous vanilla, but with a lot of spices still. The spices never really go away. This one is kind of similar. It is also spicy vanilla to me. Now, many people get a kind of chocolate or slight coffee vibe in this one. I think there are some notes. Maybe there is a note of chocolate or cocoa or something like that. So many people get that in this fragrance. Now, maybe for those people, they would not find these two fragrances that similar. But for me, I don't get the chocolate cocoa vibe in this fragrance at all. To me, it's more about vanilla. It's more about spicy vanilla. Again, it's very smooth. It's very buttery. It's very creamy. It's very sweet. It's absolutely gorgeous. These fragrances are not probably as close as the previous two, but they're still quite similar. Very, very similar. Now, if I was recommending one to you, which one would I choose? Well, here I would say it this way. If you lean more towards feminine fragrances, I would go with Gold Myrrh Absolute, just because the spiciness is not quite as strong in it. I mean, it is still strong, but not as strong, especially in a dry down. And I find that vanilla is very sweet in both, but it leans a little more gourmand in this one. So this one is a little bit more feminine, and probably I would recommend it more to a woman or to someone who prefers more feminine smelling scents. Whereas this one, as you would imagine from that description, I would recommend more to a man or to someone who prefers more masculine smelling scents, who is not afraid of a lot of spice. I absolutely love both of these. So for me, both of them are a must in my collection, but if I had to make my recommendations, that's how I would make them. This is a little bit more feminine, a little bit more gourmand. This is a little bit more masculine, a little bit more spicy. Next, let's talk about a very popular combination, especially in the last few years, that is Sweet Orange Blossom. So here I have 3 fragrances that smell similar. It is Sintra from Mamo, it is Perdition from Nobile 1942, and it is Killian Love, which I don't have a full bottle of, but I do have a sample somewhere. I just forgot to find it for this video, so, just take my word for it that I do have a sample and I've tested it extensively. So, all 3 fragrances are very similar. All 3 encompass this profile of very sweet, vanillic, marshmallow type of orange blossom. Now, what is the difference between them? Well, I would say the one fragrance that kind of is the most different from the bunch is Sintra. And this is probably the riskiest blind buy. Why? Because this one has quite a substantial green touch to it. There is neroli and petitgrain, and they are pretty prominent, especially in opening, but really for the duration of this fragrance's life. You know, they bring a real green touch to it. So in addition to sweet marshmallow, you have this greenness in it. So I think that's the reason why many don't like this one. So this one is probably the most different and the most risky blind buy. Now, Killian Love and Perdizione from Nobly 1942 are very, very similar. It's really difficult to find differences in them. I mean, they really smell like sweet marshmallow type of orange blossom. The differences are minute in my opinion. I would say perhaps this one is just slightly less sugary, just a little bit lighter than Killian Love. But again, if you put them on your skin, I feel like it will be difficult to tell the difference. Really, they're very, very similar. So which one do I recommend? Well, this is where, again, I don't have a really straightforward answer for you because it will depend on what you like. If you're really looking for Killian Love profile, I would recommend Perdizione over the actual Killian Love. Why? For two reasons. Because it lasts longer and because overall it is cheaper. Now, for me personally, I would recommend Sintra because to me, this fragrance is just a little bit more interesting, a little bit more complex. I actually really, really enjoy this greenness that neroli and petitgrain bring to this fragrance. It is also the best performing out of the three on me. It lasts the longest, it projects the most. So this would be my choice. But if you're looking for something safer and something really, really similar to Killian Love, then I would go with this one. Okay, next, let's go to kind of a summery, beachy scents. And I have three choices here that are very, very similar. We have Holidays from Mancera. I also have, I'm trying to hold all three in my hands. We have Terracotta from Guerlain and Soleil Blanc from Tom Ford. All of them essentially have this beachy suntan lotion kind of smell. You know, they all smell similar. They all have coconut. I think they have vanilla. They have florals, you know, especially these tropical florals like tiara flower, like ylang ylang, you know, perhaps something else. But, you know, they're all similar. Now, what is different about them? Well, let's start with Terracotta. This one is the most floral of the bunch. Like the florals are really, really strong on this one. Yeah, very strong florals. I think there might be some white florals in here as well. And it's very floral. It's not as sweet, and it is, to my nose, the most beastly of the bunch. So that's Terracotta from Guerlain. Now, Soleil Blanc from Tom Ford, I think is the most mass appealing of the bunch. You know, it's kind of the lightest, and I think it's the one that more people will enjoy. It's the scent that will bother people the least, I think, in this scent profile. You know, you're still getting that beachy coconut suntan lotion vibe, but it's definitely mellow. It's not as in your face. It's more kind of relaxed scent. It's not as beastly, you know, which could be a good thing or a bad thing because it doesn't last as well, but it also, it just feels lighter. It doesn't bother you or people around you as much. It is also very rounded smell. It's a smell where, you know, coconut and vanilla and florals are all balanced together. They don't stand out as much. Like I said, it's a more well-rounded scent in my opinion. Then we have Holidays from Mancera. still, you know, in the same category. What's different about this one? To me, this is the one that smells the most like suntan lotion. It's perhaps the most synthetic smelling fragrance out of these three. Now, to some, this might be a negative thing. To me, I actually enjoy it. I really like it. Although I understand that it's a bit more synthetic, but I really like it. This one is also more, like I said, suntan lotion, perhaps more coconut in it, less floral. So these are the differences. Now, which one would I recommend? Again, please remember, I'm relying on my taste. Now, I think the safest out of the three is Soleil Blanc from Tom Ford. I think this will appeal to most people. So if I had to recommend one, I would recommend this one. Now, for me personally, I think my favorite out of the three is actually Holidays from Mancera. Although it is a bit synthetic, but I really like it about it. You know, I like that it's not too floral. I like that it smells like, you know, suntan lotion, because I usually wear these scents when I'm craving something like that, when I'm at the beach, when I'm in a really summery mood. That's when I gravitate towards something like this. So I like that it's a little bit stronger than Soleil Blanc. And so this would be my choice. But if I had to recommend, again, to someone to buy this, or especially to blind buy, I would definitely go for Soleil Blanc from Tom Ford. Okay, next is a really, really popular scent profile. It has been popular for a number of years now, and it is vanilla coffee rose combination. You might have guessed what I'm gonna show here. Now, of course, I think the originator of this profile is Intense Cafe from Montal. Now, I'm not including it in this comparison because I don't have this fragrance. At this point, I don't have a sample either, although I have tried it in the past, but I'm gonna show you what I actually have. So I have 4 fragrances here to compare. That is Deluxe from Tiziana Terenzi, Gentle Fluidity Gold from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, Grey Pearls from the House of Oud, and Cambridge Club from Xerjoff. So 4 fragrances. Now, all of them have a similar profile. However, there is one that I'm going to eliminate right away, and that is Gentle Fluidity Gold from MFK. Now, again, I included it here because there are a lot of reviewers who find similarity to this scent profile of Intense Cafe. So I'm including it here so you are aware that many people find it similar. However, for me, again, I do not find this similar to Intense Cafe profile. I do not find it similar to the other 3. To me, it is quite different. So I am going to eliminate this one. Now, the other 3, however, are all similar. They all have this rose vanilla coffee combination. What is the difference? Well, I would say that these 2 are quite similar. I mean, very, very difficult to find differences in these 2. Perhaps, by the way, I don't think I named, did I name this one? It's Cambridge Club from Xerjoff. So the only difference I would say in this one comparing to Deluxe is that this one I find a little bit smoother, a little bit better blended together. Maybe the note of rose is just a touch more pronounced in this one, but the differences are not significant. They're kind of minute, really. Now, Grey Pearls is probably the most different of the bunch. That's because here we also have the addition of grapes and blueberries. I think it's blueberries, but some fruits. And it's pretty evident because there's definitely that fruity vibe that makes this fragrance just a little bit more girly maybe, or a little bit more feminine and just a little bit sweeter. But overall, still very similar scent profile. So out of these three, which one would I recommend? Well, here actually, surprisingly, the choice for me is easy. If I had to recommend one, I would recommend Deluxe from Tiziana Terenzi for a number of reasons. Because it has, a pretty sort of, how should I put it? A pretty, clean scent profile. And what I mean by that is not that this scent is clean. It's not at all. But very, defined sort of scent profile of rose, vanilla, and coffee. It's a great performer. It appeals to both men and women. And I think it's the most budget-friendly option out of the ones that I have here. It's definitely cheaper than Xerjoff. It's definitely cheaper than the House of Oud. At the same time, even if I brought back Intense Cafe into this combination, I think it is better blended than Intense Cafe. To me, Intense Cafe is the sharpest of them all. So out of all of these, this is my recommendation. Deluxe from Tiziana Terenzi. And that brings me to my last pair for today's video. That is a really interesting combination. It is One Umbrella for Two from Floraiku, and it is Deep in Desire or Yacht from EBK Parfums. Now, both of these fragrances kind of smell like a blueberry muffin. I know that the notes in this one are very different. There's actually blackcurrant. I think there is vanilla and tea note. I have no idea what the notes are in this one. Don't remember, but they smell quite similar. What is the difference? Now, there is a bit of a difference. Yacht from EBK is sweeter, much sweeter, a little bit juicier, a little bit denser. This one is a little bit fresher smelling. Both are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now, which one do I recommend? This is a tough choice, and I'll explain to you why. I mean, if we don't take anything else into consideration and go purely on the smell, I honestly, as a gourmand lover, I would recommend Yacht from EBK. However, this brand, I mean, really, what a beautiful house, beautiful fragrance house with beautiful, beautiful fragrances. But why is purchasing them so complicated? I mean, they don't have a website. You have to contact them through Instagram. I know I didn't have any problems contacting them. They responded to me right away, but I've heard from some people who, don't get responses right away or don't get responses at all. It just kind of stops me from ordering from them more. I mean, it's an expensive brand as well. So is this one, so it's not so much the price as the ease of obtaining these fragrances. So, if you don't mind the difficulty in getting this fragrance, I would recommend Yacht. It just appeals to me a little bit more as a gourmand lover, although I love this one as well. But overall, they have a lot of similarities. So there you go. These are my, let's call them fragrance twins for today. Like I said at the beginning, if you like this video concept, let me know, because I can easily do part 2 and part 3, probably, if not even more, because I do have a lot of other fragrances with similar scent profiles. Let me know If you have any fragrances in your collection that smell similarly, and again, for other fragrance creators, YouTubers, would love to see your take on this video as well. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you soon in the next video. Bye.